Hello beautiful people, today we will be making this trendy bubu dress together. This is the fabric I'll be using for this tutorial. I'm using two different patterns of Ankara fabric. So I'm going to be starting with this one that is already laid out on the table. So I'm going to keep this aside and I'll bring it in later. My name is Victoria Essien, your favorite fashion design tutor. Please, if you are new to this channel, click on the subscribe button and make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Please like this video and comment. Thank you for doing so. So first of all, I'll draw my starting line. That's my starting line, which will also serve as my shoulder line. I'll mark out my neckline. I'm using 3.5 as my neck width, and I will go down by 8 inches for my neck depth. It's a V neckline, so I'm going to connect the V. So that's my neckline. I will enter my shoulder measurement divided by 2. And from the shoulder measurement, I'll mark my sleeve length. I'm going to use the entire fabric as my sleeve length. At the end of the sleeves, I'll go down by 2 inches to mark the shoulder slope, and I'll connect it to the neck width. At the hem of the sleeve, I will mark my armhole. I'm using 10 inches as my armhole. The next measurement I will enter is my round body measurement. So I'll enter my bust measurement divided by 4. And I'll add 4 inches allowance. I'll measure what I have here, the total of this, and I'll come down and mark the same thing. I'll draw a straight line to connect it. I'll mark my hip point. So my hip point is 24 inches. Where I want the second fabric to start from is what I'm going to mark now. It's going to start from my under bust to my hip point. So I'll measure from shoulder to my under bust and mark. I hope you can see. So from my shoulder to my under bust, I mark it here, and I'll use a curve ruler to curve it to my hip point. That's how the design will look like. For the back neckline, this fabric is folded into 4. That's for back and for front is together. So I'll mark my back neckline. For the back, I'll just go down by 1.5 for my neck depth for the back, and I'll draw it to connect to the neck width. So this is my back neckline and this is the front. So first of all, I'll cut out the back neck and then cut out other parts of the fabric. I will not cut out the front. So now I'm done cutting. So I'm going to bring out the back piece and before cutting out the front neckline. This is what we have now. So I'll bring in the second fabric. The second fabric, I'll fold it into 4. Both the front and the back will be cut together just like I cut for the first one. I'm going to place it under this way. Okay, so when cutting out the first one, I added ½ inch allowance for stitching, if you can see. So make sure you add it on your own. So now I'm going to draw out the shape in this new fabric. When you place it, make sure everything aligned. Make sure everything, both the center, front match most importantly. So I'll draw out the shape here now. And I'll go ahead and mark the length of my dress. So I'm actually using the full length of this. So at the end of this, I'll enter the same measurement I have here minus 1 inch, because I want the down part to be a bit smaller. I'm going to connect it like a kind of slant to meet up the hip point, the hip measurements. So I'm going to cut it out. First of all, I'll cut here and plus the allowance, the half-inch allowance for joining. So I'll go ahead and join this. I'll start by joining it at the where the two fabric will meet. To join this, you are going to place it with the right side facing each other, and you make sure that the center front match. You pin it down. Once you get the center front of the both piece, you pin it at the center. So after pinning the center, you go ahead and pin the two sides. Just make sure that everything is flat and it's aligned well. This will make it easier for you to stitch. I'm done joining it, and this is what we have. I've also gone ahead to iron the seam to flatten it. So I've done the same thing for the front and for the back. So this is the front piece. Now I'm going to place the back piece on this front piece with the right side facing each other, and I'll fold it into two again. So I just fold it into two to mark out my pocket. The pocket opening will be 8 inches. Pocket will stop at where this upper fabric ends, because I'm using only one fabric, which is the upper fabric for the pocket. So I'll just mark 8 inches and I'll notch it. So that's for my pocket. So I already cut out my pocket. I cut out 12 inches by 8 inches. The 8 inches is where the we'll be putting the hand through. And I cut out 4 pieces in total, and I'm going to pin it now. I'll show you how I normally fix my own pocket. So this is how I fix my pocket. I'll bring out one of these and I'll place it on the fabric with the right side facing each other. The right side of the pocket and the right side of the fabric are facing each other, and I'll pin it down. I'll do the same thing to the 4 pockets. Then after that, I'll go and stitch it and just join the pocket to the main fabric, the 4 sides. Then so I'm done stitching the pocket, and you can see. So now I'll go ahead and turn the neckline. I'll fix both the front facing and the back facing. I already cut out my facing, so I'll just place it with the right side facing each other, and I'll pin it down. I'll do the same thing for the back pattern. Then I'm going to stitch it round for both the front and the back, and I'll bring it back. I'm done turning the neckline. So this is for the front. Okay, so I just clip around the neckline and I clip the center front so that when I turn to the wrong side, it will relax. So I'll turn to the wrong side and give it a good press. Like you see, it's already relaxed even without ironing because of that notch. For the back, I'm just going to clip round. So I'll turn it to the wrong side and I'll iron it very well. Then we move to the next stage. I'm done pressing and this is it. This is the back. So now it's time to join it together. I'll bring in the front fabric and I'll place it on the back with the right side facing each other. I'm going to start the joining from the shoulder. And to get a neat finishing at the neckline, I always advise that you do this. Don't join it the regular way, join it this way. What you do is when you align both the front and the back neckline together like this, you pick up the back facing to overlap the front piece this way. So the front piece is in the middle. So you're going to make sure you arrange it well. So I'm just going to pin this down. So that's it. I'll do it for this side. This is how it is now. I'll take it to my sewing machine and then stitch it down from the neckline down to the, I'll stitch the both shoulders and I'll bring it back. So I'm done joining it at the shoulder and this is what we have. Before I go ahead and join the two sides, I'll first of all turn the armhole and I'm using the second fabric, the down fabric, to turn the armhole. So I already cut out the fabric. This is it. So I cut out 2 inches by 20. That's the measurement of the armhole. So the 2 inches is on fold. So after cutting 2 inches on fold, I fold in half an inch on both sides. So I'm just going to place this on the armhole and this is the armhole. I'm just going to place it in between and stitch it down. So this is how it's going to be. I'll go ahead and stitch it. I'll stitch for the both sleeves and I'll bring it back. So I'm done turning the armhole. Let me just trim out the excess I have here. Now is the time to join the two sides together. So you are going to place it with the right side facing each other. Okay, this is the side. Now I'm going to stitch it down starting from the armhole. I'll stitch it straight down. When I get to this pocket, I'll just divert and enter the pocket and I'll stitch around the pockets. Then I come out again to the main bodies of the gown and I'll stitch it down. After that, I will go ahead and fold the hem of the gown and our beautiful bubu gown is ready. So let me know if you like to make this style for yourself. If you are still watching and you are not yet subscribed to this channel, go ahead and subscribe and also like this video. Please like this video and drop your comments on what you think about the style. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.